I'm at 279 Kinsman Court in Cincinnati, Ohio, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're mainly looking for any structural issues, root intrusion, anything concerning for the buyer. Our access is an outside cleanout. You can see the cleanout here. Kind of show you in relation to, there's the front door. Comes over, there is the water meter right outside and just underneath there. So you can see it if you're standing in the front yard. Look to the left of the front porch and you'll see a little white clean out sticking up. Now we do have kind of restrictions on the access because as we go down you'll see that the pipe just turns, and so what it does is it forces the camera to go downstream instead of upstream. And so or meaning it doesn't go upstream, so we can't inspect what's in the house. Basically everything is in the center, so there's one pipe that comes straight out to this point and then goes out to the main. Normally this is most of the issues we find are on the exterior, and so you know, most of the time this is where we find the issues is between here and the street. But it just, you know, when people put new cleanouts in like this, I wish they would always put two-way cleanouts in so that we could go both directions, especially in a situation like this where it's a slab and there's no other access to the line, and so you don't really know what the interior line looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and push out and we'll inspect the line. So this little section of PVC is here, and then it switches over to concrete. You can see the exposed aggregate. It just looks like the concrete from your sidewalk or something like that, and that's because as the water runs, it does leave the kind of wash away enough of the stuff to where it just exposes more aggregate or the rock over time. You can see that's just some discoloration over there. It's probably the packing bleeding through from when they installed it. Concrete is a pretty good pipe material. Yeah, you can see that, like can't think of the terminology for it or what it's called. The tar, basically, that they use for that packing. You can see it squeezed out in through there. The good thing about concrete is usually it's a little bit better for root intrusion than clay, which would have been the other option at this point in time. And so with this big pine tree in the front, pine trees are really bad for roots. And so having this in concrete with that big pine tree in the front is a pretty good thing. Just kind of making sure that this is just like mineral deposits or something like that on the side. And so you do want, with all that stuff in there, what you may have here is this may have been some roots getting in. This may be chemically treated or something, and that's why it's all white. The roots may have been chemically treated already. But right now I don't see any roots. I don't see anything that's causing any issues or any concern. And so we have made it all the way to the sewer main. See, it's hanging down into the larger diameter pipe. And everything looked great. Structurally, the line looked really good. Obviously, we did see that spot. Or tell you what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in and run some water just so we can kind of check out the flow rate and everything and make sure that it's at least functioning coming through the inside, since we can't inspect it. So I'm going to pause the video and go turn on some water. Okay, we're running some water through here, so just get a look at it as we pull back to just see functionality. Got a couple fixtures running, so it could be a decent amount of water. So really, I mean, the only thing I see is that, which it looks like, this just looks like mineral deposits, calcite, or calcium deposits. But there's a small chance that it could be you know, some old root intrusion, but I don't see anything that makes me think that. There's no like little finger roots sticking through to be able to see. I don't see anything. And it's right there at the joints. And so everything looks really good. Like I mentioned earlier with concrete, pretty good job of keeping roots out. So now with having these little pine trees or bushes out there, it will be something that you might want to check in a few years and just see, make sure that there's no root intrusion. But right now the line looks great. Now I think that the interior piping could be cast iron. It's what it normally would be on a house this age, but we can't really tell because they've replaced this section with PVC, and then it goes straight into that concrete. If it is cast iron on the inside, it is something that you want to pay attention to as far as some of the some things you flush down. You never want to flush down like wet wipes or anything like that anyway, but with cast iron it's a lot more likely that it can cause like a soft clog just because of how rough the interior of the pipe is. Cast iron rusts, and so that would be the normal material for a house this age, and so I'm assuming that's what it is under the floor. And so you just want to be cognizant of that, and you know, even if they say flushable on the wipes, they are not. They do not break down like toilet paper does. So toilet paper is designed to disintegrate, and the reason is so that it doesn't clog up anything. And so if it does get caught on something, it'll disintegrate into nothing and just turn into water and continue. Those wet wipes, they don't break down, so they can just build up stuff behind them if they get caught or wedged somewhere. So I always like to make sure that I mention that. But that and so the interior line here should be cast iron unless it's been replaced. But I have no way of really verifying that at the moment. I will check and make sure. I'll try to check by at least looking at the stack coming through the roof. But in most cases, a house will have cast iron under the floor that is this age. So just wanted to mention that as a kind of a preventative maintenance kind of thing, that you want to make sure you're not, just use toilet paper. If you want to use wet wipes, you can throw them in the trash. But they do cause issues, and they've made a lot of money for plumbers over the years. We'll just say that, because they're not supposed to be flushed, even if they say they are. So at any rate, the line looked great structurally. All the stuff getting inside from the fixtures is making its way out, so the line on the inside is open and flowing. We have no way to know 100% what kind of shape it's in, obviously, without being able to, without having access to locate it, or to inspect it, I'm sorry. But the line from the clean out to the street looks wonderful. No issues at all. So that's going to end the inspection at 279 Kinsman Court in Cincinnati, Ohio.